Before we begin tonight, I know that Jennifer Kiko from Representative Gibbs' office briefly addressed you. What I had asked Ms. Kiko to do, though, is so the public is here also, is to give us just a brief introduction, a brief overview, and we want to welcome you. I'd like to welcome Jennifer Kiko. She is the Constituent Service Representative for Representative Congressman Bob Gibbs. Ms. Kiko, thank you again for being here. I'd also just let the record reflect, we have asked State Representative Olslager and State Representative Hagan to address us. They have not even bothered to respond to our letters that we send every week. But we do appreciate your being here. Welcome to Canton City.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Sorry. I did hear from Representative Senator Olslager, and I'll follow up with you in reference to a second one.
Great. Maybe you can come and speak to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And again, my name is Jennifer Kiko. Is this on? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm the Constituent Service Representative for Congressman Bob Gibbs, who is the Canton City District Congressman. It's actually Ohio 7. At one time, Congressman Regula was in charge of this entire area. They split the district a few years ago, and it became 3 districts. And I have recently been named to take care of this part of Stark County and the top part of Tuscarawas County. I've been on board for 3 weeks, so please don't scream at me. I have been trying very hard to, I am from this area. I raised my children in Louisville. I graduated from East Canton. And I am trying to become very familiar with what exactly is going on in our area, as well as I know this is, we have a lot of great things happening in Canton. I think that we all need to really applaud all the work that we see every single day when you walk downtown. I'm blown away at how amazing the city of Canton looks, and I appreciate that as a resident. I'm just basically trying to understand the needs of the city, understand the needs of the constituents, and I wanted to come and offer our support and let all of you know that if I had business cards, I'd hand them to you, but we are here and we are listening, and we do want to represent you, and we appreciate the opportunity.
We do appreciate your being here, and I know you've only been on the job for 3 weeks, so
You're going to be nice.
no one intends to
No, I don't.
in any case. But we do appreciate your presence here. There is a concern, though, that I think is shared by everyone who is in this room, and I mean everyone, that the state of Ohio has gutted public financing to our urban areas. And they've done it seems to me, very purposefully, and with the concept that they will look good to the public by passing down onto the urban areas, particularly the cities, the burden of supporting everything that cities do for the vast majority of people who live in the state of Ohio. Most people do not live in the farmlands.
Right.
Most people live in urban areas. And they choose urban areas for many, many valid and good reasons. What we have discovered is because of the shortfall year after year after year, this council and the administration has to make ends meet. We have to balance our budget. And it seems to us that we're balancing it on the back of our citizenry. We keep having to increase vital services that cities provide to its residents. And that's not fair for them. When the state of Ohio literally is sitting on almost $2.5 billion in cash. Now, I understand that Representative Gibbs doesn't work for the state of Ohio.
Right.
In that sense. He's not in Columbus. He's not passing these punitive legislative acts. However, the federal government does share a certain blame because the federal government is also depriving its citizens, including those who live here, of needed money for infrastructure. We have Commissioner Tom Burnaby here tonight. I guarantee you that if you sat down with him, Ms. Kiko, and our mayor, among other people, they would give you an earful to take back to Representative Gibbs as to the declining and decaying infrastructure that is occurring, and we just heard about it tonight.
Right.
We have water pipes that are almost 100 years old that have to be replaced. We cannot do that on our own. It's not fair that we do it on our own. That's a burden that should be shared by the state government and also the federal government. And I know there have been many requests of the President to Congress to pass infrastructure bills, to get money out into the public, to get money back to the American people for these types of infrastructure, bridges, roads. You drive in this, for example, I'm going off the site. You drive here. Our roads are deplorable.
Right.
We don't have the money to make the repairs to our roads for our citizens. That's got to be borne not only by us, not only by these residents, but also our legislators in Columbus, the governor, and particularly the federal government through Congress. So if you could send that message back to Representative Gibbs, we need help here. We are at least $7 million short of where we should be. We cannot move forward if you keep pushing us back. We can't do it. And eventually it's going to get to the point where the public is going to look at all form of government and say, where are my tax dollars going? So if you could convey that message to the Representative Gibbs, it would be very much appreciated. And maybe we can open up a dialogue among city governments locally. I think that the city of Canton is Representative Gibbs' largest city in his district, and we need his help. And I'm hoping that we can all join forces. The commissioners, I know, would be open to that. The administration, members of council. We could sit down and start having a dialogue of the needs of our cities. Because without vibrant, strong cities, this country is not going to move forward, ever. And in fact, it's going to decline and decay, and we don't want to see that. So again, we appreciate you being here. If anybody else has any questions for Ms. Kiko? Yes, Mayor.
Thank you. Just to share some information, Mayor here. Thank you. A couple of things. One, Representative Gibbs was in the Ohio House during some of those votes that took away local government funds. So he did have a hand in what was happening here over the last 5 or 6 years. So he's not completely off the hook. Okay. And second, the biggest issue that we have in reference to federal funding, very, very similar to the local government fund that we get from the states, is the HUD dollars, CDBG money we get from the federal government. Mm-hmm. Our CDBG monies today are less than 50% of what they were 10 years ago. Okay. We've taken the same cut, it's been over a little bit longer period of time, but we've lost more than half of the CDBG money and more than half of the local government fund money. Those are multi-million-dollar reductions to the state of Ohio, or to the city of Canton from the state of Ohio and from the federal government. And he's been on both sides of those. We need his help. And please make sure that gets back to him. Those CDBG dollars are critically important to inner city areas like Canton and Youngstown and Cleveland and Akron and other city areas. It's critical for the people in these communities. And we continue to get less and less of that. To give you an example of the impact it has, we lost two of our top 3 employers in the past few months in that department, our director and an assistant in that department, and we only had enough resources to replace one of them based off the $15 that are coming in. We didn't even have enough money to replace the director. That's pretty bad when cuts come in that steep. So we need your help. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Mr. President.
Yes, Member Marion.
Yes, Canton, similar to other cities around the country, has a high poverty rate. A very important thing for this city, the state, and the country as a whole is that the $7.25 minimum wage is increased. I know President Obama has been pushing for that. I believe his number is $10.10. So I'd ask that you convey to Congressman Gibbs the importance to this area, the state, and the country that people are able to earn a wage that they're able to live on. And nobody can live on $7.25 an hour. It's way too low. It's amazing that we allow employers to hire people at this wage, and that needs to increase as soon as possible.
Thank you, Member.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, Ms. Kiko, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Maybe when you get a card, if you could send it to us, please send it to me, that maybe we can arrange a monthly meeting or every couple months to discuss what's going on in Washington that might be able to benefit people in your district, people that Representative Gibbs represents.
Well, and I thank you for the opportunity. I'm right, in the Stark County Office Building, and I really do care, and so does Congressman Gibbs. I mean, we do care about the residents of the city, and I'm here for, whenever you need me, and I do appreciate you.
Great, thank you so much. Have a wonderful week. We appreciate you being here. And with the quorum being present, the chair calls this meeting of Canton City Council order. Roll call vote, please, Madam Clerk.
Morris,
Here.